Welcome to Better Every Day, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of self-improvement, one book at a time. I'm Tom, your host, and along with my co-host Kelly, we'll be breaking down the key ideas from top self-improvement books and turning those insights into actionable steps you can apply to your life. Together, we're passionate about helping you grow and become your best self. Before we dive into today's episode, a quick reminder. If you're enjoying the show, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us keep bringing you more book deep dives every week. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. All right, let's get started. We hope you enjoy this episode and that it helps you become better every day.
All right, let's dive into Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich.
A classic.
You bet. You sent over that ebook, the PDF, the 1937 edition,
Yes.
plus some extra notes and everything. So I think our mission today should be to really pull out like the juiciest bits, the actionable stuff.
Absolutely. The stuff that people can actually use.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so this will be your shortcut to Think and Grow Rich wisdom without having to read the whole thing.
That's right.
Even before we jump into the main text, even the intro material has some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Did you know that the original publisher was the Ralston Society?
I did not know that, no. Interesting.
And Hill spent like over 20 years
Wow.
putting this book together
Uh-huh.
at the behest of Andrew Carnegie, the steel tycoon.
Yeah, Carnegie's fingerprints are all over this book.
Oh, yeah.
Really. It's like Hill took Carnegie's life and all of his success strategies and kind of turned them into these principles for wealth accumulation.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how much this book has resonated with people, for almost a century.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Really a classic.
Yeah. It even mentions that there's like a secret to wealth accumulation
Oh, right.
hidden in the pages. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll find that.
We'll see if we can unearth that secret.
Yeah, exactly. So, enough teasing. Let's jump into chapter 1,
Okay.
which starts out with this whole concept of burning desire.
Yeah.
He's adamant about this. Like, you've got to really want it bad.
Yeah.
And he uses the example of Edwin Barnes,
Uh-huh.
who was obsessed with working with Thomas Edison. Not even for him,
Yeah, with him.
but with him.
Yeah, Barnes' story is such a great example of desire in action.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't just wish to work for Edison. He envisioned himself as Edison's business partner.
Right.
And, he showed up at Edison's office and basically refused to leave until he got a chance.
What?
Any chance. He ended up, taking a pretty menial job.
Uh-huh.
But he saw it as a stepping stone.
So he was persistent,
Yeah.
but he was also smart about it.
Yeah.
He was willing to start small, but he never lost sight of the bigger goal.
Exactly.
And it paid off.
He did.
So it makes you think, what's your burning desire?
Right.
What are you willing to work for? Maybe even take a detour for?
That's the heart of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hill wants you to figure out what you truly desire
Uh-huh.
and then commit to pursuing it relentlessly.
So speaking of pursuing your desire, he gives us like 6 concrete steps
Okay.
to actually turn that desire into reality.
Right.
So the first one is write down your goal,
Okay.
be specific, then set a deadline.
All right.
Give yourself a time frame to work with. Next is figure out what you're willing to give to achieve it.
Yeah.
Like, is it time? Is it money?
Uh-huh.
Is it effort? What's the price tag for your dream?
It's about making a real commitment. And then he says, create a plan.
Okay.
Don't just wish for it. Break it down into actionable steps.
Right.
And then here's the interesting part. Visualize yourself already having achieved your goal.
Oh.
Like you're stepping into that successful version of yourself.
So it's like you're mentally stepping into that successful version of yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that ties into his next point, which is, believe you can achieve it.
Right.
He calls this faith.
Oh,
and suggests using auto-suggestion to convince your subconscious that you can make it happen.
okay. So desire is the spark.
Yeah.
But persistence is like the fuel.
That's right.
And Hill tells this story of R.U. Darby, whose uncle nearly struck gold but gave up.
Oh, no.
Just 3 feet from the vein.
Can you imagine?
Oh, it's painful to think about.
I know.
But Darby learned a really valuable lesson
Right.
from his uncle's mistake.
Yeah.
And he used that story to fuel his own persistence
No.
in the insurance business,
Yeah.
refusing to give up. even when he was faced with like constant rejection.
Yeah. He knew that success could be just around the corner.
It really highlights how giving up too soon can make you miss out on incredible rewards.
Absolutely.
Have you ever quit something and then later realized you were so close to a breakthrough?
Oh, yeah. Many times.
It's so frustrating, isn't it?
It is.
But Darby's story is a great reminder to keep pushing, especially when things get tough.
Yeah. Hill really drives home the point that we should view setbacks as opportunities for growth, not reasons to quit.
Right.
What we learn from our failures can often pave the way for future success.
And then to solidify this idea of persistence, Hill gets pretty personal.
Okay.
And he shares the story of his own son, who was born deaf.
Yeah, it's a very moving story. And what's fascinating is how he connects his son's eventual ability to hear to his own unwavering faith in his son's potential.
He believed his son could hear, even when the doctor said it was unlikely. And he worked tirelessly to instill that belief in his son as well. It's a truly powerful example of the transformative power of belief.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, like, how can we cultivate that kind of unshakable faith?
Yeah, that's the
in ourselves and our own goals. What limiting beliefs are we holding on to that might be holding us back?
That's a great question for self-reflection.
Yeah.
Hill argues that faith is a state of mind that can be deliberately cultivated through repeated affirmations, positive self-talk.
Right.
It's about replacing doubt with belief and fear with courage.
Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about knowledge.
Okay.
Hill makes a really crucial distinction.
Yeah.
Knowledge is just potential power.
Right.
He argues that it needs to be organized and applied in a practical way to be truly valuable.
Yes.
He calls this organized capital.
I like that.
Yeah. Think of it this way. You can have a library full of books.
Yep.
But if you never open them, that knowledge remains dormant.
It's true.
It's the same with any skill or expertise.
Yeah, it's like having all the ingredients for a delicious meal, but never actually cooking it.
Right.
You need to bring those ingredients together in the right way, apply heat, and season it perfectly to create something truly enjoyable.
So thinking about your goals, what specialized knowledge do you need?
Right.
What are you missing? And more importantly, what steps can you take to acquire that knowledge and actually use it?
It's about identifying your knowledge gaps.
Yeah.
And seeking out the resources to fill them.
Right.
Hill challenges us to be proactive learners, constantly expanding our knowledge base and seeking ways to apply it in a practical way.
And that leads us to the next principle, imagination.
Okay.
And this is where things get really interesting.
All right.
Hill calls imagination the workshop of the mind. It's the place where we create plans, solutions.
Right.
He describes two forms of imagination.
Okay.
Synthetic, which involves rearranging existing concepts.
Okay.
And then creative,
right,
which generates entirely new concepts.
Got it.
So think of it like this.
Okay.
Synthetic imagination's like building with Legos.
All right.
You have existing pieces, and you're combining them in different ways to create something new.
Okay.
But creative imagination's like inventing the Lego itself.
Right.
Coming up with something.
Yeah, from scratch.
Completely original.
Yeah.
And Hill illustrates this beautifully with the story of the enchanted kettle.
Ah, the enchanted kettle. Such a great story.
That's so good.
It's about this old country doctor who sells an old kettle
and a secret formula to a young drug clerk.
Okay.
And what's fascinating is that it wasn't the kettle or the formula that held the real value. It was the idea behind it.
It was the potential.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The drug clerk used his imagination to turn that simple formula into like a wildly successful business.
Yeah.
And it's a powerful reminder that the most valuable things are often not the tangible objects themselves, but the possibilities that they represent.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, how are you using your imagination?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Are you just rearranging existing concepts, or are you pushing the boundaries and coming up with truly innovative ideas?
Hill encourages us to view our imagination as a muscle that can be strengthened with practice. The more we use it, the more powerful it becomes.
So don't be afraid to daydream.
Right.
To brainstorm, to let your mind wander.
You never know what amazing ideas you might uncover. Now let's dive into one of Hill's most intriguing concepts.
Okay.
The mastermind principle.
The mastermind. So the mastermind is essentially the power of collaboration.
Right.
Bringing together a group of like-minded individuals who work in harmony to achieve a common goal.
And Hill uses this really powerful historical example to illustrate this, the creation of U.S. Steel.
Oh, right.
It's fascinating how he describes a Charles Schwab's persuasive speech.
Yeah.
Fueled by his vision for the future of steel.
Yeah.
Schwab was able to inspire J.P. Morgan.
Wow.
To create this massive corporation, bringing together some of the biggest players in the industry.
Yeah, it wasn't just about, pooling resources. It was about the synergy that arises when brilliant minds collaborate. They were able to accomplish so much more together than they ever could have individually.
And the formation of U.S. Steel really just perfectly underscores that point.
Absolutely.
Like the power of collaborative effort.
Yeah.
And the importance of surrounding yourself with people who share your vision and values.
Exactly.
Makes you think, who could you collaborate with to achieve greater success? Who shares your passion and drive?
Right.
Building a mastermind group can be a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about leveraging the collective wisdom and experience of the group to amplify your efforts and overcome obstacles.
All right, we're on a roll.
Okay.
Let's talk about the sixth sense. Now, Hill gets a little mystical here.
All right.
But stick with me. He describes this sixth sense as a kind of intuition or a gut feeling.
Yeah.
They could be accessed through heightened mental states.
Okay.
And he doesn't dismiss it as mere superstition. He even shares examples of successful individuals like Dr. Elmer Gates, who attributed their breakthroughs to tapping into this higher level of consciousness.
Interesting.
Right. And Hill himself claims to have experienced this through what he calls his invisible council, which is a group of historical figures that he mentally consults for guidance.
So he's talking about folks like...
He's talking about Emerson, Darwin, even Napoleon.
Interesting. What's intriguing about this is that it speaks to the power of visualization and the potential of our minds to connect with sources of inspiration beyond the physical realm.
Okay, I have to ask.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced anything like that? Like a sudden flash of insight or gut feeling?
I think we've all had those moments of intuition. The key is to pay attention to those subtle nudges and to trust our inner guidance.
And Hill definitely encourages us to explore our own potential for accessing those intuitive insights. And he suggests practices like meditation and visualization as ways to kind of quiet the mind and connect with our inner wisdom.
Makes sense.
Now, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, let's face those things that we all have. Fears.
Yeah, everyone's got them.
And Hill identifies 6 basic fears that can hold us back.
Right.
And he lists poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death as the primary fears that plague most people.
Right.
And he argues that these fears often stem from negative thoughts and limiting beliefs.
Yeah, it's all connected.
And it's interesting how he connects fear to indecision. He says that when we let fear dictate our choices, we become paralyzed.
Yeah.
And we end up stuck in this cycle of worry and inaction.
It's a trap.
Yeah. And he tells this powerful anecdote about a condemned man calmly eating his last meal to illustrate this point. Once the man had accepted his fate, he was able to find peace.
Wow.
So Hill suggests that confronting our fears head on and making a conscious decision to act despite them is the key to overcoming them.
That makes sense.
It makes you think, what fears are holding you back?
That's the question.
Are you letting them dictate your decisions? Or are you choosing courage over fear?
Yeah.
What steps can you take to confront your fears and move forward?
Hill encourages us to acknowledge our fears, understand their root causes, and then consciously choose to act despite them.
And that brings us to the final point we'll cover in this part of our deep dive.
Okay.
Near the end of the book, Hill provides a self-analysis questionnaire.
Interesting.
And it's like taking inventory of your strengths, your weaknesses, and areas where you might need to level up.
It's a valuable exercise in self-reflection, prompting us to honestly assess where we are in our journey and identify the obstacles and opportunities that lie ahead.
Yeah. It's a powerful reminder that personal growth is an ongoing process.
It is.
We should always be striving to improve ourselves and expand our capabilities.
It's right. It's like Hill is giving us this roadmap for success. But he's also reminding us that we're the ones who have to do the driving.
We're in the driver's seat.
Exactly.
All right. So we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
Desire, persistence, faith, knowledge, imagination, the mastermind.
Yeah.
What really stands out to you from all of this?
For me, it's the emphasis on the power of our minds to shape our reality. Hill's central argument is that achieving success, whether it's financial wealth or personal fulfillment, requires a burning desire, a clear plan, persistent action, and the ability to harness the power of thought.
Yeah, it's like he's saying we're not just passive bystanders in our own lives. We have the power to create the future that we desire.
It's empowering.
But there's one more principle we need to unpack before we wrap up.
All right.
And it's a big one.
Okay.
Hill calls it the secret to wealth accumulation.
Yes.
That mysterious secret that he hints at throughout the book.
Right.
And it's not some magic formula or hidden treasure.
Right.
It's something far more profound and in a way much simpler.
Interesting.
Don't leave us hanging. What is it?
Okay. So the secret, according to Hill, is the realization that our thoughts have incredible power.
Okay.
He believes that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
Wow.
It's about aligning our thoughts, our beliefs, and our actions to create the life we want.
So it's not just about positive thinking.
Right.
It's about taking action based on those positive beliefs.
Exactly. It's about using the power of our minds to visualize our goals, believe in our ability to achieve them, and then take consistent action to make them a reality.
That's powerful stuff.
It is.
Makes you realize that we have far more control over our lives than we often give ourselves credit for.
It's a message that resonates deeply even today. It reminds us that we are the architects of our own destinies.
And speaking of destinies, there's one more element of the secret that Hill explores.
Right.
And it's the concept of the subconscious mind.
The subconscious. Yeah. So the subconscious mind is like the engine room of our thoughts and beliefs. It's the part of us that operates below the level of conscious awareness, but it has a profound influence on our actions and behaviors.
Yeah, and Hill believes that we can tap into the power of the subconscious mind through techniques like autosuggestion, visualization, and affirmations.
By consciously feeding our subconscious mind with positive thoughts and beliefs, we can reprogram our thinking and create a more empowering self-image.
Yeah. It's like we're planting seeds in our subconscious mind.
That's a great analogy.
And those seeds will eventually grow into the reality we experience.
And it highlights the importance of being mindful of the thoughts we allow into our minds.
Yeah.
If we constantly feed ourselves negative thoughts and limiting beliefs, that's what will manifest in our lives.
So it's not just about thinking positive thoughts. It's about consciously choosing to focus on what we want rather than what we don't want.
Absolutely. It's about training our minds to see possibilities instead of obstacles, to believe in our potential, and to act with confidence and determination.
This is really making me think about my own self-talk.
Yeah.
Like, do I spend more time focusing on what I fear or what I desire?
It's a powerful question to ask ourselves.
It is.
And that's exactly what Hill encourages us to do. He wants us to examine our thoughts, challenge our limiting beliefs, and consciously choose to cultivate a more positive and empowering mindset.
This has been such an insightful deep dive.
It has.
I feel like we've only scratched the surface of Hill's work, but we've uncovered some truly valuable insights.
I agree. And I hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity to explore further.
So what are you waiting for? Grab your copy of Think and Grow Rich and start applying these principles to your own life. You might just surprise yourself.
You never know.
With what you can achieve.
That's right.
Remember, the journey to success starts with a single thought.
It does.
And the power to create the life you desire lies within you.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep thinking big, dreaming bold.
Yes.
And taking action. See you on the next deep dive.
See you then. Yeah, it's a powerful reminder that personal growth is an ongoing process. We should always be striving to improve ourselves and expand our capabilities.
It's like Hill is giving us this roadmap for success.
Right.
But he's also reminding us that we're the ones who have to do the driving.
You're in the driver's seat.
Exactly. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
Desire, persistence, faith, knowledge, imagination, the mastermind.
Yeah.
What really stands out to you from all of this?
For me, it's the emphasis on the power of our minds to shape our reality. Hill's central argument is that achieving success, whether it's, financial wealth or personal fulfillment, requires a burning desire, a clear, persistent action. Right. And the ability to harness the power of thought.
Yeah, it's like he's saying we're not just passive bystanders in our own lives. Yeah. We have the power to create the future that we desire.
It's empowering.
But there's one more principle we need to unpack before we wrap up.
All right.
And it's a big one.
Okay.
Hill calls it the secret to wealth accumulation. That mysterious secret that he hints at throughout the book. Right. And it's not some magic formula or hidden treasure. Right. It's something far more profound and, in a way, much simpler.
Interesting.
Don't leave us hanging. What is it?
Okay, so the secret, according to Hill, is the realization that our thoughts have incredible power. Okay. He believes that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. It's about aligning our thoughts, our beliefs, and our actions to create the life we want.
So it's not just about positive thinking.
Right.
It's about taking action.
Yes.
Based on those positive beliefs.
Exactly. It's about using the power of our minds to visualize our goals, believe in our ability to achieve them, and then take consistent action to make them a reality.
That's powerful stuff.
It is.
It makes you realize that we have far more control over our lives than we often give ourselves credit for.
It's a message that resonates deeply even today. It reminds us that we are the architects of our own destinies.
And speaking of destinies, there's one more element of this secret that Hill explores.
All right.
And it's the concept of the subconscious mind.
The subconscious. So the subconscious mind is like the engine room of our thoughts and beliefs. It's the part of us that operates below the level of conscious awareness. Right. But it has a profound influence on our actions and behaviors.
Yeah. And Hill believes that we can tap into the power of the subconscious mind through techniques like autosuggestion, visualization, and affirmations.
By consciously feeding our subconscious mind with positive thoughts and beliefs, we can reprogram our thinking and create a more empowering self-image.
Yeah. It's like we're planting seeds in our subconscious mind.
That's a great analogy.
And those seeds will eventually grow into the reality we experience.
And it highlights the importance of being mindful of the thoughts we allow into our minds. Yeah. If we constantly feed ourselves negative thoughts and limiting beliefs, that's what will manifest in our lives.
So it's not just about thinking positive thoughts. Right. It's about consciously choosing to focus on what we want.
Yes.
Rather than what we don't want.
Absolutely. It's about training our minds to see possibilities instead of obstacles, to believe in our potential, and to act with confidence and determination.
This is really making me think about my own self-talk. Yeah. Like, do I spend more time focusing on what I fear or what I desire?
Powerful question to ask ourselves.
It is, and that's exactly what Hill encourages us to do. Right. He wants us to examine our thoughts, challenge our limiting beliefs, and consciously choose.
Yeah, to cultivate a more positive and empowering mindset.
This has been such an insightful deep dive.
It has.
I feel like we've only scratched the surface of Hill's work, but we've uncovered some truly valuable insights.
I agree, and I hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity to explore further.
So what are you waiting for? Grab your copy of Think and Grow Rich and start applying these principles to your own life. You might just surprise yourself.
You never know.
With what you can achieve.
That's right.
Remember, the journey to success starts with a single thought.
It does.
And the power to create the life you desire lies within you.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep thinking big, dreaming bold, taking action. See you on the next deep dive.
See you then.
And it's amazing how much wisdom is just like packed into this one book.
It really is.
And it's not just about getting rich, like financially.
Right.
It's about cultivating a mindset like of abundance and possibility in all areas of life.
Absolutely. That's so true.
Yeah.
Hill's principles can be applied to any goal or aspiration, whether it's, starting a business, writing a book, improving your relationships, or simply becoming a better version of yourself.
So as you reflect on everything we've discussed today, what's your biggest takeaway?
I think for me, it's the understanding that our thoughts are incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
They shape our beliefs, our actions, and ultimately our reality.
It's a reminder that we have far more control over our lives than we often realize.
Exactly. And that's a truly empowering realization.
Absolutely.
It really is.
This has been an incredible deep dive.
It has been.
I feel like we've only scratched the surface.
We've just skimmed the top layer here.
But we've uncovered some truly valuable insights.
Absolutely. And I hope this deep dive has inspired you to go and explore further.
So what are you waiting for? Grab your copy of Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
And start applying these principles to your own life.
Absolutely.
You might just surprise yourself with what you can achieve.
Remember, the journey to success starts with a single thought.
It does.
And the power to create the life you desire lies within you.
Until next time, keep thinking big, dreaming bold, and taking action.
Absolutely.
See you on the next deep dive.
See ya.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Better Every Day. We hope you found some actionable insights to help you on your self-improvement journey. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on future deep dives. And if you're on YouTube, hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, small steps every day lead to big changes. See you next time.